What is going on, guys? So today we're going to talk about one of the reasons why people join the military, and that is joining the military so that the military is going to open up doors for you in whatever career field you want or whatever life direction that you want to head in. And in this video I want to talk about my opinion on that and whether or not it is true or not, or both. Alright, so this is one of those things that I see every now and again. Sometimes people ask me a question, and in it, people talk about, they're joining the military so that the military will give them this kind of experience or certifications, or, which MOS is going to help set me up the best for the rest of my life, for whatever career, which MOS is going to transfer the most to civilian life. And for me, personally, one of the driving factors for why I joined and why I did the specific MOS that I did was because it was 25 Bravo, Information Technology Specialist, and I am a tech guy. I am in the information technology field. That's what I do on the civilian side. Like a lot of other people, they're joining the military thinking that it is going to set themselves up for success. It is going to open up doors for them in the future. And I want to talk about how this is both true and not true at the same time. So some people will hate on the military because they join the military and they get out of the military and they're like looking around like, what in the world? Like, where are all the jobs coming at me? Like, there's all these employers, they're not just, chomping at the bit to get me to work for them. Like, this is crazy. The military screwed me over. I don't have any jobs and stuff set up. That can definitely be the case for some people. Another situation that can happen for people is they go through the military, they get out after X amount of years, and they have a ton of options available to them. Like, they can pick all sorts of different things, all sorts of different career fields, and they're gonna be making more money than they made in the military. So those are two completely different scenarios that are both really true. And the real reason why, it doesn't really come down to your MOS that you pick particularly. However, if you do go into the military, it doesn't matter what branch, but if you go into the military and you pick like a tech MOS like Signal, or if you go into like MI or any kind of medical field in the military, or if you go into kind of mechanical fields, like those are obviously going to transfer to military or to the civilian side, and it's going to help you out a little bit more doing that than doing something in a field that you don't really care too much about and you don't want to have a career field in that after the military. Because you do always got to keep in mind, even if you do want to do 20 years in the military, eventually that 20 years is going to be up. So what are you going to do for the rest of your life? It's okay if you don't understand that now, or if you don't know what you're going to do right now, but at some point in time in the military, you need to figure that out so you can start setting yourself up. And that is the problem. That is the thing that sets the first example from the second example apart. Is the first guy who gets out of the military, he doesn't have a clue what in the world to do. He's got no job opportunities, and now he's gonna go get out of the military and he's gonna start working at some fast food place, or he's gonna start working at a cash register, just doing something that isn't really like a skilled job. And that person right there is somebody, in my opinion, who didn't use that time in the military to its full benefit, because you have to put in the work. The military is not a, get out of jail free card for success in life, right? If you join the military, it is going to, in my opinion, I've talked about this, set you up for success, but you still have to put in the work. If you are a Signal guy, some people will ask me all the time, because I was a 25 Bravo, if it has helped me in my career, in whatever, like being a 25 Bravo, has it got me a job? And the answer is no. Yes, it is something that I have on my resume, just that fact that I was a 25 Bravo in the military and information technology specialist. But for me, I didn't have to get any certifications for my civilian job. Now, if I did, I would probably go get Security Plus or something like that. But for a lot of people that ask me this, they're really wanting to go into the actual IT field. I'm in the software development field, but if you want to go into the actual IT field, certifications are going to be where it's at. And there's a whole bunch of other career fields in life where you're going to have to get certifications to qualify, to be eligible for those jobs. And the military is amazing for that. It is absolutely amazing. It is just like, you join a certain field in the military, if you have to get certifications, go for those certifications, especially if on the civilian side, that is something that you want to do, and that certification is going to help you out, because on the civilian side, you're going to have to pay for that certification, and more than likely it's going to be several $100s. Some certifications may even be $1,000, $2,000. But if you do it in the military, they're going to pay for it, okay? And a lot of people don't know, in certain certifications, you can take it in the military. Even if the military doesn't pay for it, immediately you can take it, and if you pass, they will reimburse you for that. So don't get confused. It's not all about getting certifications, but it's more about putting in the work. So what do you want to do? If you don't know what you want to do, in my opinion, if you enjoy the military, just stay in the military, especially if you enjoy it. Don't get out and just be like, oh gosh, I don't know what to do, and then 2 years later you just get back in the military when you could have just stayed in. Like, if you know what you want to do, you need to put the steps in and the work in to actually help you get there, not wait until you get out of the military and then do it. No, that's not what you need to do, because the military, it's a very stable job. So use that time to set yourself up post-military. So it doesn't just straight up open doors for you, but it does give you that period of time and the opportunity, a lot of opportunities, to give you the chance to go and open those doors. Because a lot of times people aren't just going to open up doors. College degrees, they say open up doors, but that's not really the case. You can go and get your bachelor's degree, but in my opinion, if you don't do anything above and beyond that, then you're just like everybody else with a bachelor's degree. And speaking of bachelor's degree, free college. That is something that is awesome. And it's one of the reasons why I wish that I joined the military earlier, because even though I'm reserves and my full college would have probably not been paid for it, you know, hopefully I could have gotten like, you know, a free college bonus like my little brother got who's in the reserves. But, you know, for me, even the reserve, select reserve GI Bill would have definitely helped out a lot, because, you know, paying $500 a month for student loans for the next 10 years for me, that could have been avoided, and that is something that can hold a lot of people back if they're struggling to pay that. And if you're not wanting to go to college, you're not that type of person, but you want to go into some specific career field where there is like a certification or a class or a course or a personal training cert that you need to get that you have to pay for. If you guys didn't know, the GI Bill doesn't only pay for college. There's tons of other things that the GI Bill will pay for. So again, more doors potentially opened up to you because of that reason right there. Whereas otherwise, if you don't join the military, you're gonna have to pay all this stuff out of pocket. And I promise you, it's not the greatest thing in the world to have to pay student loan debt. And like I said, I wish I would have joined earlier. Now, one of the last things that I want to talk about, and it still has to do with the college side of things, and that is that experiences, especially in today's world, a lot of times outweigh college, okay? And joining the military, getting leadership experiences, again, it's gonna outweigh college sometimes. So if you go get those experiences, and if you decide to go to college, if you go to college during your military time or whatever, I just do wanna say that some of the doors that could be open to you are potentially because of the experiences that you had in the military, particularly if you end up being a higher rank. So if you're an NCO, a warrant officer, or an officer, those are going to be jobs where you're going to get leadership experiences that are going to outweigh some things that you might get in the civilians life, like some little, like I said, associate's degree or bachelor's degree that everybody and their grandmother has, but they don't have any kind of leadership experience or any kind of experience problem solving. And it's kind of stupid, like, at least for me, now that I've been out of college for a little while, and even whenever I was in college, I was still working, and I was working at the company that I'm at now. Like, it's really not all about the degree, and it's a huge misconception about today's stuff, and I don't want to talk too much about college being a waste of time, because with military you get free college, so might as well do it if it's free. College is just a degree. But where you're actually going to prove your worth in the workforce is how many problems you can solve, like how good at critical thinking you are. And I'm telling you, the military is a great place to develop that. It's one of the problems that I talk about with people is their inability to make decisions in the military. And if you go to basic training and you become a leader at basic training, a lot of times you might pass or fail or get fired from that position based on your ability to make decisions under stress and solve critical problems that the drill sergeants are just throwing at you. It might seem simple, but you might have a time hack. And throughout your military career, and again, especially if you make it to those higher ranks, NCOs, warrant officers, and officers, then you're going to get a lot of experience problem solving. And in my experience on the civilian side, like, you prove your worth by your ability to solve problems. Now, in my opinion, if you do go through the military, if you fulfill your contract, your obligation or whatever, and you get out of the military, I think one of the like underlying things that's going to happen to you, and people ask if the military changes you, and I say in a way it does. It kind of makes certain things about yourself kind of come out a little bit more, but it does change you, in my opinion, in the fact that it might make you a little bit more disciplined, a little bit more organized. You might not procrastinate as much, in my opinion, and I think that happens for a lot of people. But with me saying that, I do want to say that the military is not just like a cure to whatever kind of procrastination problems you have. That is not the case. Like, you're still gonna have to put in the effort, because if you're a procrastinator, you're gonna have to like mentally think about, okay, let me not procrastinate anymore. And sometimes in the military you can't procrastinate, so it kind of trains that in you a little bit. So I do want to mention that there are going to be some, successful habits that you're going to learn. Whether or not you retain them after the military is going to be up to you, because you're going to have a lot more freedoms outside of the military. So keep that stuff in mind. I think it is going to set yourself up for success. You're going to learn a lot of things, but at the same time, it's not just like a, free blanket across the board. Everybody who joins the military is going to come out, a freaking awesome, successful, perfect person. At the end of the day, all the doors that you are going to have open to you at some point in time, it is going to have been a product of some kind of preparation that you have done, some kind of work that you have put in. You picked a certain MOS, you put some work into it, you got that, certification, or maybe you were trying to go above and beyond, and you volunteered for a certain position. Maybe it was a little bit more stressful position, but you did it, and now you can put that on your resume, and then that thing is it's gonna be a talking point for some recruiting office at some job that you want to go to, because again, experiences. One last thing that I want to mention real quick, because I just thought about it and I forgot about it, and that is the bonuses that the military offers you. If you use it wisely, that's going to open up a whole bunch of doors for you. Even if you just literally, whatever bonus you get, take it, put it in some kind of retirement fund, and then whenever you're 60 years old, like, that money is going to be, depending on your bonus size, be like a couple $100,000. So if you look at it that way, the military is going to help you out a lot. So keep that stuff in mind, guys. Be smart with your money, be smart with your career, be smart with your time, and those things are going to open up doors for you. Just because you're like, hey, I was in the Army, open up those doors for whatever. That's not the case, but it does, in my opinion. If you put in the work, it definitely sets you up. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like button. That would be awesome. If you want to stick around some more of my videos, hit that subscribe button. And even better yet, hit the notification bell button if you really want to catch every single video, which would be awesome. You'd be the real MVP. If you haven't followed me on Instagram and Snapchat, links are right there. Merch is down in the description down below as well. I hope you guys have an amazing freaking day. I will see you later.